Hello, and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. My name is Kevin, and I'm a puzzle addict. What's going on in my life? Honestly, not much, which is great. Um, Life is good, things are chill. It's bike week here in Madison, so for me, that just means on my way to work, I get snacks on the bike path. There's a bunch of organizations that set up and have, donuts and bagels and coffee. I don't know if coffee is what I need in the morning when I'm biking. I get enough energy from, biking itself. I did get coffee at a few stands, and I feel like I was too energetic. I should check my times and see, was I biking faster than usual because I had coffee those mornings. Though it's tough because I think it also has to account for I was stopping, so I can't check my average pace. I have to check the actual splits. So yeah, let's say yesterday. Oh no, I only have one. No, we're good. No, I did. One of my workouts didn't track yesterday. I need to track my workouts just because I need to have the stat at the end of the year of how many miles I biked. That's the only reason I track. I never look at my stats. Yeah, I don't know. I think a few times here my average speed was 14 miles per hour. Usually I'm 12 or 13, so maybe I was a little faster biking caffeinated. Yeah, it was 14 Tuesday morning also. What about... Yeah, I think in the evenings I was doing 12 to 13, and in the mornings when I had coffee I was doing 14. So, pro tip, Lance Armstrong. Otherwise, yeah, things are chill. I don't know what else to say. I feel like my last video when I was talking complete nonsense and couldn't put thoughts together. It's apparently happened again this morning, but I was gonna say that, I don't know, today I woke up and I felt very energetic, and it kind of made me realize I was sick a while back, maybe 2 weeks ago. I took a day off of work. Maybe it was last week, sometime recently, and maybe it was one of those things where it's I didn't feel actively sick, but it just takes a while to get back to normal, and you don't really notice, but then a day like today you wake up and you're I'm ready to go. So maybe that's why I could barely complete my thoughts last time. But the point of this is I'm feeling great today in a way that makes me realize that maybe I wasn't feeling great last week. Just don't have anything interesting to say for the preamble though. So let's get into it. We got a Thursday puzzle by Joe Dini with some amplified numbers. Amplified, magnified, embiggened. I've never seen a thing like this. I wonder if the people who make the crossword app had to put a bunch of work into... It's just an overlay, right? I don't really know how the crossword works.
How do we move our bodies?
I bet this is just like the grid is coded, and then there's they can probably just put an image on top of it. Because yeah, if I select this, you can see the square is the normal size. And yeah, they just imposed an image on there. Who cares? Neighborhood watering hole. I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be a lot more than 6 letters. You know? Dive. Local dive. I think based on the fact that they didn't say local in here, that it says neighborhood, I feel like local is going to be in the answer. What if this was just a mistake? What if these are supposed to be rebuses and they accidentally highlighted them? The Four Seasons composer, yeah, so that was Vivaldi. So we're on a rebus watch. I mean, we were on a rebus watch as soon as this friggin' these giant squares appeared. This is like Rebus warning. Yeah, Antonio Vivaldi. So where are those letters gonna go? I don't know, but I'm not gonna like put in, like VIV Aldi. Unless, are these big box stores? Where's the revealer? Big box store. Large retail establishment and a hint of force. Big box stores. Big box stores. This guy just figured out the theme 2 minutes in, and it's a Rebus alert. Oh my god. Let's fucking go. I came into this. I said I was feeling energized. I'm freaking pumped. Green tea all goddamn day. You're gonna bring the Vivaldi, local dive, which I think I said. Oh, let's get this. Last over the line, say. Oh, sorry. I hate this thing when you're doing a Rebus and you hit enter, it jumps down. And then I never got it back to the right arrangement. Sorry, I got hyper there.
Got too hyper.
That's why the boxes are bigger. It's big box store. Was that clear as I was shouting? Conservative guesses. I guess I could deconstruct this from like big box stores, but I don't want to do that yet. First, I want to see if I can just get it without thinking too hard, and then I can list some like big box stores. Downward dog and others. So these are yoga poses. So this is Gap. So the Rebus is Gap. Would you call that a big box store? What defines a big box store in your mind? Sound out in the comments. I do a thing in life where I try not to do free advertising for anyone or anything if they're not sponsoring me. He says as he drinks from his Revolution Cycles water bottle on camera. So, like, if I'm telling Gina what errands I'm running, I don't tell her what store I'm going to unless it's relevant to her purposes. So it's like, I will say I'm going to the pharmacy. She knows what pharmacy I'm going to. I always go to the same pharmacy. But I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to do free advertising in my own home. Or like if I'm going to a baseball game, like so many Brewers fans, they spend all this time being like, ooh, I still call it Miller Park because I love the baseball or the beer company that isn't even stationed in Milwaukee anymore. Well, I call it the new one. It's just like, I'm going to Milwaukee for a baseball game. I'm going to the Brewers Stadium. Like, why have we all agreed to like do the thing for them? So the point of this is, at work, our work is like half a mile from a store that I actually like quite a bit, that where you can get, bulk supplies for decent prices. And I try to, as much as possible, like, I bike to work. Usually this is a store where you drive on a Saturday and load up your entire car, but I try to see how much of that I can fit in my car and never have to drive ever. Can I shop even at, I'll just say it as Costco, it's important for the story, like, can I be a Costco shopper in segments on a bike? But like me and my coworker, who also will dip out to Costco at various times during the day, not various times, like once a day, you have a 15-minute break, you grab some stuff, we'll always say, head to the big box store. We never say I'm going to Costco, just I'm taking a quick stop at the big box store. So this is where it was originally coming from. I feel like big box stores, I wouldn't put Aldi in there. I think it's like Costco or like Walmart or like Target. That to me is big box store. But I feel like they're using it to mean just like any chain. And I'm okay with that. Movie theaters with many screens. I would say multiplex. but I think this is megaplex. I don't know if I've heard that word, but it works for me. Exactly as desired. Don't know. Fashion photographer's direction. Work it, girl. It's not going to be strike a pose because we already had yoga poses. All right. So we don't know this. So now, yeah, we do have to, like, think about what stores we. So we got the Target, we got the Walmart. But, I mean, yeah, it could be any chance. Like, if Gap is on here, I don't think we're going to get this yet. So let's work around it. And I want to work around this one because I feel like I should be able to get this last over the line. I'm glad I can't get it because then maybe my audience is sitting there thinking of it. Indigenous people of the Great Basin. I feel like it's going to be Ute just because it's crosswordese and it comes up all the time. And is the Great Basin that area out west? Probably. American blank. Too vague, not enough information. Particularly fine examples. Don't know. Shamash. Shamash. Holder. That's a fun word. And it's an almost palindrome. Like, you got the M in the middle and the A's, and then just like the SH, if you could just flip those, you'd have a palindrome. But you wouldn't. For reasons too long to explain, in my college marching band, we had a chant that involved saying words backwards. No, I'm just gonna explain it because who cares? I've probably explained this before, but I don't expect anyone to memorize all the shit I talk about. It was kind of like a low quality scoreboard where they had a few little animations, and there was one, it would flash defense, and then the word defense would rotate around. So it was just like like a shitty animation of it rotating, and then back to, so when it was halfway through its rotation, the word was backwards, and then it would get back to defense. So when this was appearing, we would chant defense, oh, Esnafet. Like as it rotated, we go, oh, and then once it got reversed, we'd say Esnafed. And then when it got back to defense, we'd say defense. And we thought we were so funny, and we do this all the time. And then we started doing other words. So the funniest one was marshmallow. Oh, Wallenschram. Marshmallow. And like, I don't think we realized until a little bit later that like, Wallenschram is not actually correct reversal of marshmallow. And it's the same thing. It's because the SH reversed is HS, so it's not Wallenschram. It's Wallenschram. Wallenschram. Shamash holder. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that's even asking. Become enamored with. I was about to say some corny ass shit. Like if Gina and I were doing this crossword together, I'd be like, I should know this because I'm enamored with you. Oh, that's a big thing that happened in my life. So I've mentioned before that Gina and I are engaged, but we didn't do a proposal, which is, I'm fine with. She didn't want a ring. She didn't want a proposal. She doesn't love attention. Oh my God, there's a baby bun outside. This is like, I need a graphic now for like Kevin gets distracted by rabbits. But I call all rabbits buns, but this is actually a bunny, and it's so tiny. I wish you could see it. Maybe I'll take a picture of my phone and then put it on in the video, though unfortunately there's multiple levels of screens between me and it, because there's the window screen, and then there's I'll just take a picture so you can see what I'm trying to capture. Then there's like the chicken wire on my sunflower bed. So yeah, you can't see this bun at all, but got a great picture of all the screens and all that. Oh my god, it's so cute. I wish you could see it. I don't know. Do an image search for bunnies. They all look the same. Uh, yeah, she doesn't love being like the center of attention. So I think the idea of like having an engagement ring and people asking her all the time about being engaged and then having to tell the story, she didn't love that. And I don't think she loves the idea of like having a proposal where, I mean, that would just be me, but like everyone's looking at her. She just didn't want to do it. And I was happy to not do it, save a little money. I also feel like the proposing thing is pretty nerve-wracking, but I really like the idea of all the stuff you say when you're proposing. Like, here's, just the corny speeches. So what we decided on is like, we decided to get married. We booked the venue. Everything's, we told my family months ago. We've been telling people in real life, like, this is on the video. So it's like everything's set. Like we are fully into the engagement period. But then just this last Sunday, we had a little get-together where we recreated our second date, which was a picnic in Warner Park, and then we each gave, like, little speeches about why we want to get married. And I thought that was a really nice compromise of, like, not doing a proposal but still being able to say all that stuff. And then, in retrospect, I think it was a great idea because I think if you're proposing and you're down on one knee and, like, you're actually asking someone a question, it's kind of like, get to the point. Don't make this 5 minutes, say a few nice things, but then ask the fucking question. And then, like, this way we could actually, go into detail. And we each talked for, like, 5 minutes. So that was really nice. I am enamored with Gina, but I don't know the answer to 31 Across. Bob, who narrated How I Met Your Mother, is Saget. Is that A or E for the second letter? I think it's an A. Bob, who hosted PBS's The Joy Paint, Bob Ross, baby. I think I got some Bob Ross stuff on here. No, I don't. But I have some magnets on my fridge. During the pandemic, my friends and I would, like... There's, like, the Twitch stream that is just, like... Bob Ross on permanent loop. So, stressful times, but also everything going online. So my friends and I would, like, Friday night, we'd just get on a, like, group call and we'd just watch Bob Ross together. So it became, like, a bonding moment. And then some of my friends, for one of my birthdays, got me, like, a Bob Ross magnet set. But it also came with a little easel that I used to have on my bookshelf. I don't know where I put it now, but the magnets are still in the fridge. Oh my god, tangents much? Whatever, that's what you people watch for. Freudian censor, I don't think I would have got this without letters, but I believe this is the super ego. I don't really know Freudian stuff, but it's like I feel, I like know the terms enough to fill it in. That's like, Gina and I were talking about the Greek letters and how I'm never going to fucking learn the Greek alphabet. But it's like, I know most of the Greek letters. I will never know them in order. I'm never going to be able to recite the Greek alphabet. But like, when there's a Greek letter, it's like, I can, figure out if it's, if it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And I don't think there's any 6s, but there's 7. Like, I can narrow it down based on how many letters there are. But I don't know the Greek alphabet. That's the same thing. It's like, I don't know what the id or the ego or the super ego really are, but like I can recall them if the clue tells me we're talking about Freud. Links openings. So this is going to be golf. I want to say tea times. It's not that, because I know Bob Saget is right. Yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything for this now? Last over the line. Conservative guesses. safe bets would fit if it was the normal amount of letters. Okay, well, this is American Pie. I'm just going back and doing more of this. Particularly fine examples. I don't know. Still don't know what a shamash is. It ain't hard to tell rapper. I don't know that one, but just based on the letters, it's probably Nas. I don't know because it's old people rap. Pint size racers. Pinewood Derby cars. I don't know. Links. See, yeah, I feel like this is tea time. This was Bob Saget, right? Yeah, I feel like I can hear his voice. But this has got to be tea something. Does that help with this? So it starts with an S, ends with a T, let's assume. What would the last over the line be? Like, I want to say like sweeper. Gosh, that shouldn't be as hard as it is. I don't know. Okay, we're 17 minutes in. Let's keep going. Historic Bulgarian ruler. Is it a czar? I feel like the czar ruled everything, but I don't know. Broad-shouldered titan. I gotta learn Greek mythology, man. I just gotta do it. Were the Titans Greek or Roman? I don't know. Italian liquor distilled from wine-making leftovers. I want it to be vermouth. No, vermouth just is a wine. I don't know. The only Italian liquor I know is Campari, because I'm in my Negroni era. Exactly as desired, I don't know. They come in black, Belgian, and double varieties. Is this just ales? Belgian makes me think of beer. Lilyhammer's Land. Oh, that sucks that it's an abbreviation, because, like, I want to be able to use that to figure it out. So this is in the Alps. This is they hosted a Winter Olympics, but I don't know. Is it France? Is it Belgium? Is it Italy? It's not Italy. It's France or Belgium, just based on the name. Speaking of France, part of the conjugation of etre. I mean, it's probably A-E-S-T. But I think it could also be E-T-E. Ugh. Told you. I don't know. Just do it and think different. I want it to be slogans. It's not that. Still know this one. Not prefix a la carte. Those are just different ways of paying for food. Fancy hotel amenity. I probably want to say spa for that one. Why did I say it like that? I probably want to say spa. It's like, it's spa. Six-winged angels. Be not afraid. But I don't know. More pretentious. It's going to be ER, but I don't know what would be there. Okay. So this is great. I do think it's czar. Now, unfortunately, I can never fucking spell czar. And there's two different ways to spell it. So it's either CS or TZ. And the way I remember the CS, because then there's been times in the past where, like, I've mixed those up, and it's like, is it CZ? Is it TS? But it's CS because czar comes from Caesar. Like, it's, you know, that's just the origin of the word. So it's either CS or TZ, but I don't know which one I'm putting in. Still don't know this one. Campari. See, it fits. I want it to be like spec. But that wouldn't do anything. As specified? No. Oh, it's not ales, it's IPAs, right? But then it's not an abbrev. I don't know. I'm putting it. I need to get this rolling. Okay, so this is Norway. I wasn't even close with the Alps. Or is Norway in the Alps? Did you know that the Scottish Highlands are the same mountains as the Appalachians? Ooh, we gotta remember to blur this. You don't get to know where I live. Though it's in Madison, Wisconsin. So yeah, straight up, continental drift is so nuts. And you know I'm obsessed with geology, because I made that whole video. But yeah, the Appalachians, which are a very old mountain range, are the same mountains as both the Scottish Highlands and the Atlas Mountains in northern Africa. So yeah, the stuff in Norway, I think, might also be those same mountains. I'm getting a little over my skis here, pun intended, because this came up with the Winter Olympics. But I don't want to say authoritatively, but just looking at it, it seems like that, you know, these were connected and they broke apart. So the Alps are a different thing because that's like different continents. So I was wrong about Lillehammer being the Alps. I don't really know what those mountains are. I guess I could have looked up the name when I was looking at it, but okie doke. Told you is C. Okay, so this is Pose. I wrote that off because what are you doing, Joe Dini? Like, you got big box stores that aren't big box stores. You're using Pose twice. Oh, that's so funny because I said it is Strike a Pose. I said Strike a Pose and I immediately wrote it off, but that's actually what it is, because then this is IKEA. Knew me since IKEA. Cut my grandma off if she don't see it how I see ya. Exactly as desired. Like charm. Worked like a charm. Worked exactly as desired. Cool. I saw these taglines, and I was so wrong about it. I was 100% wrong about my Tsar mnemonic. Yes, it is based on Caesar, but now I have to remember it's the opposite of everything. Even though it's based on Caesar, it's not CS. It's TS and Caesar. Wow. Caesar. CZ. CZ. Broad Shoulder Titan is Atlas. That makes sense. Holding up the whole world. Still don't know this one. I guess it's good that I don't know booze stuff. Not that I don't drink, but yeah. So these six-winged angels are seraphs. I feel like learning the different types of angels would be both good for crosswords, but also just interesting in general. It really is. There was like that Twitter thread at one point about like biblically accurate angels. And I don't know how, like, what that was even based on or whatever, but it really is like there's like different angels and they have different like stats and skills and abilities. It's kind of like Pokemon or any like game. You got your seraphs, you got your cherubs. I think it would be fun to learn all those. Okay, we're 24 minutes in. I don't know that last theme, so I think I just got to work on other stuff and then hope that it'll come together. In The Tempest, when Miranda says, "Oh, brave new world that has such people in it," the when is what the is asking for here, and that's going to be Act 5, which I didn't know, but they just always do this one. I could tell from the V. Sushi Wrapper, that is Nori. Forbidden Idol. I want to say Golden Calf. Is it Cav Golden? I don't know. Tolkien's Treebeard for 1 Ent. That's crosswordies. Orc and Ent are both crosswordies. And it's not just because crossword nerds are fantasy nerds. It's because they're 3-letter words with common letters. You need those to fill in those little corners there. It always cracks me up that Tree Bear's an ent, and then like Merry and Pippin think he's a tree. He's like, I'm not a tree. It's like, well, then why does your name have tree in it? Come on, guy. It's a matter of degrees. Angle. Beer brand with the slogan La Playa. Oh wait, it's got to be Corona, I would imagine, just from the letters and, you know, like a Spanish word. Political leaflets are tracts. Man, no one writes tracts anymore. You ever notice that? They just, no one writes tracts or manifestos. People don't write manifestos when they're, like, doing a mass murder. People should just write manifestos about regular shit. Forbidden idols. It's grave something, but I don't know. Imported beverage brand. Could have used that clue for Corona. They could have done the, you know, different answers to the same clues. Really rips into. Assails? I hope that's right. Beguile. Enchant? No. Some fun words here. Is this avian? That's like a bottled water, right? That's imported. Like they ship water from somewhere else. That's disgusting. I'm preaching to the choir here, I think, but like local municipal water has higher like quality standard requirements than bottled water. I just like, yeah, I mean, there's so many things wrong about bottled water. You know, the plastic, pulling the water out of the ground to ship it somewhere else. But it's like, it's not even better water. Like, local municipalities are held to higher standards than bottled water companies of, like, their, like, safety regulations. It's ridiculous that, like, anyone thinks that that's an answer for anything. Cards is probably IDs. They're thinking of it as a verb here. When you're at a bar, you get carded by the bartender. You are ID'd. Is this slime mold? I feel like that's a thing, but I couldn't define it. Like the appearance of armadillos and anacondas. That was a real fun clue to read. That's scaly. Okay, so beguile is enrich. I feel like I don't know what beguile means. I don't know. Faux flattery. I want this to be smarm, but I just don't know if that's right either. Altered excerpts of a film posted to social media say. I don't know. Like if you're smarmy, is that like fake flattery? I don't know. Most senior is eldest? Yeah, eldest is a word because there's like the eldest daughter thing. Gina's an eldest daughter. Many a character on the pit informally. H-E-R doc? Yeah, I think it's E-R doc. So I think enrich is wrong. I watched one episode of that. It was cool. Gina and I both felt like we were both like, I would watch this if you wanted to watch it, but I don't feel a strong desire to watch it. I feel like this is something I've also talked about on the show before. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a baby that, you know, can't watch anything difficult and all my stuff has to be comedies, but it's like spending my entertainment hours thinking about how fucked the American healthcare system is like not how I like to relax. I want nursery purchases to be soils because it's talking like tree nurseries, but then I have no idea what's going on with 151 once. Yes, I do. It's Roman numerals. 151. Cool. That's a fun clue and answer. Bring out. You're gonna bring out the devil on me.
You gonna bring the demons out of me?
Illicit. You can like elicit a response. Yeah, and illicit like illegal is ILL. So yeah, I'm digging this, Joe Dini. I'm sorry that I clowned on you. You're doing some fun, like, just side clues where it's just enough off kilter where it's clever but feels fair. Tomb placed during angioplasty. I think this is a stent. I don't know anything about. I don't even know what an angioplasty is, but I feel like you could do that for any surgery. Maybe I'm wrong. Stent, just that feels like a medical word. That's something they'd say on the pit. Do I want to go back to beguile? No, I never want to think about beguile. I hate the word beguile. I don't know what it means. Disguise, in a way. Encode? Again, just a little sideways, unless I'm totally wrong. You know, it's like, because they said in a way, so it is going to be a little sideways. Yeah, if they'll give you encode something, you're like hiding the data. I like it. Fancy affair is a soiree, so discouraging words is just no's. Yeah, I like that. I like it because, I don't know, you expect it to be more complicated than it is. And then discouraging word is a phrase in the Common song Home on the Range. So it's like it's in the vernacular, where seldom is heard a discouraging word. Where the man gave names to all the birds in the sky and all the wild animals, and be eaten. Run into his meat. So bullet point is item. Love it. Another one that just feels like that's not how I would include it, and that makes it fun. Still don't know this pretentious one, but that's okay. Soft rock. No idea. Article that might be pre-written informally is an obit. Yeah. If you don't know, like, every, like, famous person, like, sufficiently famous, like, major newspapers already have obituaries written for them. So then, like, when they die, they just, like, plug in how they died, and then the obituary is already there. Because it's like, why wait? Why spend all the time putting it together? You already know their accomplishments, and then, like, you know, there's someone's job who is, like, to, like, update the obituaries as people do more accomplishments. It's like Wikipedia. And I think there's been some instances where, like, someone's obituary accidentally gets published early. Yeah, I don't know. Error of the Graham Norton Show. I mean, it's probably the BBC, just based on 3 letters and starts with a B, and I feel like Graham Norton is a Brit. Small square. I want to say 1, and I don't know why. Candy heart phrase, be mine. Maybe it is 1. I don't know what that means. Containers in orchards are crates. Yeah, it's like 1 came to me because I'm thinking like crosswords. Each of these are a small square, but I don't know what actually makes that 1. Sound off in the comments. Soft rock is magma because it's like it's gonna be rock, but it hasn't softened yet. It's still flowing. Man, I was thinking recently about there's an event here in Madison, Pour Your Heart Out. It's a Valentine's Day thing where they do an iron pour. I've only gone once, but I want to go back. Though now it's getting more popular, so it's I think you have to like actually get tickets now. But it's so cool seeing liquid iron poured. And the thing that's so nuts about it is it's liquid. I know that sounds stupid, but if you think of, like, in your mind, liquid being poured, like, I think of the ring being forged in Lord of the Rings, the movies. Like, you expect it, or like glass blowing. You expect it to be like a honey consistency and to pour slowly, but it's fully liquid. It's this hot glowing thing, and it pours like water. It's mind-blowing to see liquid metal in person, but especially just it moves faster than I expected it to. It's so awesome. More pretentious is, I guess, artier. I disagree with that. That's an anti-intellectual perspective, Joe Dini. Artier doesn't have to be pretentious, and it's like I don't think that fits the definition. But the Italian liquor is grappa. That rings a bell. Altered excerpts of a film. This is gonna be something to edits, right? So, yeah, okay. Beguile is entice. That works. Faux flatter being smarm. I get it. I think of yeah, maybe that works. I think a smarmy. I was gonna say being false, which is part of it, but I don't necessarily think of it as being flattery. But it is. It's like I feel like it. Yeah, like being political, press in the flesh. I have a friend who hates that phrase, but it refers to, like shaking hands. Yeah, it is being like a little too nice. I don't think of it specifically as flattery. It's more the fake than the flattery. I don't know why I'm picking all these apart. Um, like I was just saying, oh, I like how sideways some of the clues are, but some of these also feel too sideways. But I don't know. I can't complain. I gotta just take it as this. Sons of blank, exemplars of biblical wickedness. I don't know, but I'm excited to learn. That's just a fun worded clue. Site of an 1899 to 1909 gold rush. I want to say Reno, just because of the 4 letters, and I think definitely like the whole like Nevada was part of a gold rush. Um, I was just learning that when we went to Vegas, and I was like, why is Vegas? Why does this exist? And like part of it was gold rush, and then it kind of died off, but then it was like a lot of it exists because of the building of the Hoover Dam. Like that was built to like bring power to the West, and people needed to construct that. But now I think all the power from it goes just to Vegas. But I do think there was a Reno gold rush, and I think that lines up. Deep fissure. I think that's a chasm, just like happening in my Daggerheart game. Shout out Garrett, I'm sure is watching. Bald youngster. Is this Caillou? Does that work to name a specific one? Okay, Montreal to Boston is southeast, I believe. Middlemen in illicit transactions. Hey, I was just talking about illicit. We had illicit and now illicit. Middlemen in illicit transactions. Is this Narcos? I thought Narcos were like the feds who like crack down on it, but why not? Waikiki welcomes. I mean, this has got to be Aloha's, right? So Reno's wrong, which then also makes me doubt Narcos, which I was already doubting. But yeah, Aloha's. Forbidden Idol. I don't know. Oh, this is fan edits. Is the altered excerpts of a film. That's great. Sons of. Is it Eli? And is that why Eli's the main gemstone, right? That's funny. I never got that joke. Yeah, it's Eli Gemstone, right? So his children, if sons of Eli are exemplars of biblical wickedness, God, that's great. That show is already great, but I had no idea of that little detail. Unless it's wrong, because this is graven image is a forbidden idol. There's a lot of biblical stuff in this one. So yeah, I still don't know this gold rush though. Rome, in 1899, they suddenly discovered after thousands of years of inhabitation that Rome was had gold there. Well, the middleman is fences, so it's got to be Nome, Alaska. And then bald youngster is an eaglet, a baby bald eagle. We also saw when Gina and I did our not proposal in Warner Park, there is an eagle's nest, and like as we were walking back, one of the big eagles was like swooping down over the water. It was awesome. Yeah, Nome, Alaska. Subject for one aspiring to become bilingual is ESL. Let's see if we can bring it all home with this corner that was vexing me. Become enamored with is probably take two. So then our little racers is go-karts. Love that. And I love that go-kart is spelled with a K. It just is. And it's like you have that in Mario Kart too. That's the official spelling. Is this gems? I think it is. Oh, it's got to be menorah, right? So a shamash must be a special type of candle. So is this tea shots? Or am I just wrong about this? Yeah, tea. Okay, yeah. Opening. So your first shot in golf is from a tee, and then the rest of them you're hitting off the ground. So it is an opening. So wow, I have both of these, and all I got to do is put in a store here to solve this, and I'm coming up blank. Conservative guesses. Okay, let's assume that Saget is with an E, because that just... Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. No. I was going to say guesstimates. No, because guess is in there. But yeah, it's got to be an E, because, yeah, the Matas, that feels like Latin. Ultimatums. It's an ultimatum.
Give you an ultimatum.
You give me...
Meaning that you give me the whole tomato
the
or else.
full tomato. Yeah, what would this... It's not just estimates. And, like, guess this is not a store. It's like a jean company. Like... Right, because if I put guess, what would the last of the line be? Squest? Am I really going to have everything but this rebus? Like... You're probably laughing at me right now, my whole audience. It is gonna be estimates, but it's gonna be... There's something else before it, like rough estimates. So we're looking for a store that ends with ES. And if it's conservative guess, it's a low estimate. Lowe's is a store. Low estimates are conservative guesses, and then this would be the slowest. There we go. See, I was talking to my buddy Josh literally yesterday about how, like, with programming and all that, and even like solving puzzles, like talking it through out loud just helps. He had a term for it. Well, let's see if this solves it. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna open Slack, and I'm going to keep it off this screen. You don't get to see my work stuff. I got to blur all that, but I just got to see this term that... And I'm just going to put it in the middle of the screen, and I'll just blur it for a bit. What did Josh call this? Man, Josh and I were chatting a lot yesterday, so... rubber ducking is the phrase. Like, I guess that's a coding thing, like describing stuff out loud as you're doing it helps you think. But it's 100% true. I had a video a while ago about, like, I was talking about Thinky Dailies, which are back, season 3, and and the new ones drop at 7, so I'll do it right now. But I was thinking about, yeah, there was a Thinky Daily where I was like describing it, and I was showing a puzzle that I couldn't solve. And then, like, when I was showing it on the video, then it made sense to me. So it was the same thing here. I just had to talk through it. I know we're going long. I don't know. If you don't care about Thinky Dailies, just fucking turn it off. Because this might take me a while. It's two puzzles. It's going to be a tricky one. Our hero slides into the seat, hoping for quiet. Alas, the rival is in a very chatty mood, and our pal has to concentrate to follow all the bragging. They do, like, a story, and it becomes relevant later. New puzzle set. Is this a Mimoku? Connect, like, a number leak variant that adds the rule of visiting every cell. Oh, I got it. Because usually these are numbers, but they just switched it to icons. So I have to connect, like, this to this and this to this. But the tricky part is I have to visit every cell. So I know this cell right here. I am just going to talk through it. I am just going to rubber duck this. Well, I better, because I'm on YouTube. This cell right here could only be visited by these. So that's got to be that. Same thing here. Same thing here. Because, like, they can't, like, go like this. They have to connect to something. So, like, this box can only go to this, and this can only go to this. So this is kind of funny. They're really intentionally limiting things. No, that's wrong. Because if that happens there, then where does this go? Okay. So that means one of the turtles has to go in here, and then the other one would be approached like from this side. But this turtle has to go this way because that's the only way that could be filled in. Is this making sense? Like if a line goes into here, the only place it can go is to that turtle. So we know that that is where that turtle is, which then means this turtle has to do this, follow the same logic. And this can only go here, and then here, and then here. I hope I'm not wrong about this. But yeah, I think all of that is true. I think each of those spots, the only place that it could be is the turtle. Now this is tricky because I can't say like it has to go there because this could actually go there. Wow, this is fun. Okay. Now here's where it gets tricky. Is this has to connect to this. Oops. But then this has to connect to this. And they can't cross each other like that. So either the sunglasses has to go around the metal or the metal has to go around the sunglasses. And I think I already know which is which. Because we have the turtle here. Like, this logic tracks. I'll even erase it and work through it again. It's like this square. Like, we determined these have to go here because this square here can only go to those two. So this square, there has to be a line in it. This is, you know, variant. You got to visit every cell. So a line has to go into here. And then it can't be that. It has to go to the turtle. And then the same logic here. That, like, there's nowhere that can go. So then that has to go here, and that has to go here. And that has to go here. So I'm totally confident in that logic. Which means this metal can't go, like, this way and meander over there. I hope I can undo that whole thing. Yeah, it has to go, at the very least, this way. But, like, it couldn't go here and then meander up there around the sunglasses because that would block the turtles from ever connecting. I'm sorry, my voice is getting so bad at the end at this point where I'm already extending the video. I guess talking for an hour is a bad idea. So it can't go around the sunglasses because it'll block the turtles. That's proof number one of the thing I'm going to say. But the other thing is, like, if we assume the most direct line here, and the sunglasses have to go around it, that actually doesn't work. Okay. No. This still works. I feel like I just proved that the metals can't go around the sunglasses and the sunglasses can't go around the metals. Does that mean the turtles go around everything? It's turtles all the way down, baby. No. Well, I don't know. Let's not look at the grand scheme of things. Let's just look at other things we know to be true. This has to go to the metal. The same logic as the turtle there. And then same thing here. You kind of get into these patterns with these where it's like it sort of has to zigzag often. They're mirroring each other. Oh, that's clever because they are mirroring each other. The difference here is here it's two turtles and here the sunglasses and the metals are swapped. Puzzle design is so interesting. So yeah, there's kind of two routes we can do. One is this continues around the sunglasses and connects to there and leaves room for the sunglasses. I would have to leave more room, but you got the general idea. Let's do it more like that. And then the turtles can go back that way. So like it would go around like that. Sunglasses would go in there, but then this doesn't get all the spaces, but it would generally work. We just have to do the line a little bit better. Yeah, I think we can do that. Sorry, I'm not perfectly logicking this. This is a bit of guesswork, but it's like we have the general idea of going around there. Then we can change this so the metal gets all of that. And then it's going to meet up with itself here. And then the sunglasses will finish. Sorry, I didn't explain that well. That was a little bit chaotic and a little bit of trial and error, but I solved it. And this video is already long, so I'm not going to go back and explain it better. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.